guys, you cannot make this stuff up. If you thought the New York Giants season couldn't get any weirder heading into Week 18, well, check your phones. We are looking at a full-blown conspiracy theory unfolding in real time, and honestly, it looks like the players are telling on the organization. Here is the situation. Theo Johnson, the Giants' second-year tight end, has been ruled out for the season finale against the Dallas Cowboys. The official reason on the injury report? An illness. Standard stuff, right? It's January, flu season, guys get sick. Except, usually when you're too sick to play football, you're at home in bed with some soup. You are definitely not courtside at Madison Square Garden. But on Friday night, the same day he was listed with this illness, Johnson is at the Knicks game. And he didn't just go. He reposted a picture of himself on the Jumbotron with a caption that has set Giants Twitter on fire. 4 words, "I am not sick." So, we have a starter ruled out for a massive game, well, massive for the draft order, and the player is publicly saying, "I'm fine." Is this the smoking gun proving the Giants are tanking? Let's dive into what is actually happening in New York. Now, before we grab our pitchforks, we have to look at the team's side of the story. The Giants organization saw the uproar, and they had to do some damage control on Saturday. According to interim head coach Mike Kafka, Johnson is dealing with an infection. They made it a point to clarify that it is not the flu and it is not COVID. But does that really add up? If you have an infection bad enough to rule you out of an NFL game on Friday, do you really feel like going to an NBA game that night? And more importantly, why would the player post, "I am not sick," if he legitimately has an infection? This feels like a disconnect between the locker room and the front office. And whenever that happens in Week 18, it usually points to one thing, the draft pick. Let's call a spade a spade. The Giants are in a weird spot. Johnson didn't practice all week. He didn't play in the win against the Raiders last week either. Fans are speculating that the illness is a convenient excuse to shelve a healthy starter to ensure the team is weaker for the game against the Dallas Cowboys. And look, if you're a Giants fan, you're conflicted. You never want to lose to the Cowboys. Ever. But a meaningless win in January 2026 could set the franchise back for years. By sitting Johnson, who has actually been a bright spot lately with 45 catches and over 500 yards, you take away a weapon. You make the offense worse. And in the world of the NFL draft, losing is winning. Theo Johnson's Instagram post basically confirmed what we all suspected. The players want to play. The front office? They might be looking at mock drafts. To understand why Johnson's absence is so suspicious, we have to look at last week. The Giants beat the Las Vegas Raiders 34-10. It was a blowout, and ironically, that win was a disaster for the front office. If the Giants had lost that game to the Raiders, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They would have already locked up the number 1 overall pick. They could have beaten Dallas this week, and it wouldn't have mattered. But because they blew out the Raiders, everything is now up in the air. That win moved them from a guaranteed number 1 pick to a precarious position where Week 18 means everything. Here is the nightmare scenario that Giants fans are losing sleep over. And this is why Theo Johnson sitting out is such a big deal. If the Giants go out there on Sunday and beat the Dallas Cowboys, they don't just stay at pick number 2 or number 3. They could free fall. If the Giants win, and teams like the Browns, Titans, Cardinals, Jets, and Commanders all lose, the Giants could drop all the way to the number 7 overall pick. Think about the difference between picking 2nd and picking 7th. At number 2, you're getting a franchise quarterback or a generational pass rusher. At number 7, you're hoping a tackle falls to you. Even if just a few of those teams win, a Giants victory likely pushes them to pick number 5. So if you're the general manager, are you really going to risk dropping 5 spots in the draft just to win a meaningless game against Dallas? Or do you tell your starting tight end, "Hey, that cough sounds pretty bad. You should probably sit this one out"? This brings us back to Theo Johnson at Madison Square Garden. When a player posts, "I am not sick," while the team says he is, it tells you everything you need to know about the tension in that building. The players are fighting for their jobs and their pride. They want to beat the Cowboys, but the organization knows that a win on Sunday is the worst possible outcome for the future of the New York Giants. So, Giants fans, I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you believe Theo Johnson is actually sick, or is the front office pulling strings to ensure the tank rolls on? And more importantly, do you want them to beat Dallas, or do you want that number 2 pick? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates as we head into the offseason. We'll be covering the draft extensively right here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and good luck this Sunday, I think.